Back with Bobby and JJ Radio, we have a very special guest, Mr. Paul Mann. He is with RRGP Services. Been with the company and in the industry for 20 years. First of all, I want to say thanks, Paul, for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
For sure. So talk about RRGP. Who do you all service and what do you all do?
Sure. RRGP is an local IT consulting firm. We've been in San Antonio for over 20 years, and our specialty is the small, medium-sized businesses here in town.
Sure. And when you say IT, walk me through everything you guys cover.
When you say IT, it can be a very encompassing world, but what we specialize is working with clients, designing, maintaining, and helping them plan their future when it comes to their business and their IT strategy, making sure that they're taken care of and that what they're doing moving forward is going to be in their best interest.
Sure. So can you walk me? Who's your typical client?
My typical client is, I like dealing with the small business owners here in town. It kind of makes me different than a lot of our competitors who really want to go after the larger businesses. But I like dealing with small businesses because we can build relationships. And when I have a client, I want them to be with me 15, 20 years. And so dealing with those small businesses, help guiding them, for what they need and build that relationship is very important to me.
And what do you walk us through being a new client with RRGP?
Sure.
So let's say we called you up. What should we expect as a potential client?
Absolutely. What we like to do upon being first introduced to a new client is I like to meet them personally.
Sure.
It gives me an opportunity to meeting the other business owner.
Right.
And we can meet business owner to business owner. I understand that when they're talking about their pain points. At that point, I like to do kind of an initial assessment. Assess what their business is, assess where their pain points are. Going through that allows us then to make sure that whatever we design as far as our offerings is catered just to them.
Sure, because every business obviously is different.
Absolutely, every business is definitely.
Give us some examples of who it doesn't have to name the company necessarily, but how you consulted with them, found a pain point, and just kind of made it all go away.
Sure, like a large architectural firms that we work with here locally. They're one of their big, of course, data. They have large amounts of data,
big files,
huge files, and it can become a spaghetti bowl very easily. So we worked together here with Toshiba here locally and brought in a document management solution, DocuWare, and was able now to really build a solution that's able to grow with them and grow with their data. And
so the more they get, then they're just ready for it.
Absolutely.
And then also, I'm sure, not only the data itself, but helping them share it to their clients.
Helping them share it, helping them build out workflows, and really develop. Now they're set up to where we can now work with them to develop workflows on how that data moves around their business and is shared and secured.
Sure. How can we educate people about security and how important it is? Because I think a lot of people just brush it under the rug. Is just something that not going to happen to me, but I'm seeing more and more now. Just in our industry, in the real estate, everyone's getting hacked all the time.
Absolutely, and especially here in San Antonio, the thing I hear most is, "Oh, I'm just a small company. What does anyone want my data for?" Well, the fact is that all data is valuable. The world is made up of a puzzle, and the more data that the bad guys can get, the more they're able to put that puzzle together. So we get that a lot as far as security. What I spend a lot of time now is going out and meeting with my clients and really educating them on the layers of security that was required today. Our lives are so digitized, and it's only growing every year. So it's so important that we educate not only getting the network where it needs to be secure, but the most important piece is educating the end users. That is your biggest point of failure within your security. We can put in firewalls, we can do antiviruses, we can do all the things we need, but the person who's at the desktop that clicks the link that they shouldn't click will null and void a lot of that. So,
gotcha.
So spending time out there educating the end users. Absolutely, we do lunch and learns with our end users to make sure that they're being educated. So that's something I highly recommend people do.
Perfect. I know while we still have you, let's talk about something that's near and dear to your heart. I know you're part of this organization, San Antonio Pets Alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about who they are and what you're doing with them.
Sure. San Antonio Pets Alive is I'm currently chairman, president of the board. Mm-hmm. They've been around since 2012, and in that time they've saved almost 40,000 lives. So their goal is to be a key partner with the city to bring the city to a no-kill And when we say no kill, it's more than just a number. We want to end euthanization in San Antonio, and what we do, that while we have so many wonderful people here locally that work towards this, what puts San Antonio Pets Alive apart is we focus only on the euthanization list. So we are working day in and day out with the city to pull the dogs that towards, if we don't find a place for them by the end of the day, then there is nowhere else for that animal. So we really brought in a lot of, I don't know if you've seen over the years at the airport, you're right here, the planes flying off with the animals. So San Antonio Pets Alive has started doing the pilot programs where we bring in a flight and we load up animals and they get flown up to like Idaho and Oregon and stuff. So that's starting to take off here in San Antonio and Austin.
So why there? Is there a lack of animals there?
Absolutely, and I never knew that until the last year or two when I started learning. I was like, wow, there are actually places where they need these animals.
So you're saying that if I get a one-way flight for Bobby to Idaho, just let him loose, he'll be okay?
He'd be okay.
Yeah, just drop me off on.
We have partners there that will pick you up and make sure you find a good home.
Gotcha.
Don't forget the flea collar, though. He needs that flea collar.
Definitely.
So,
more than anything in the world.
And I'm sure one thing y'all will be covering is on March 22nd, of course, is the Big Give here in San Antonio, which I'm sure you'll hear a lot about over the next month. So I highly encourage everyone who's listening to get out there on that Big Give website. No matter what your charity is, of course, please give the San Antonio Pets Alive, but whatever your charity is, that is a big day for the charities all around the city to get their funding.
Perfect. Mr. Paul Mann, he's a great dude. Obviously, he cares about everyone and anything. You can contact him directly about his services at www.rrgp.com. And then the Big Give coming March 22nd.
That's right.
Just give to San Antonio Pets Alive. Everything else is less important. Go to San Antonio Pets Alive and give back. That's our show for this week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.